Hey guys, I'm Tom the Tech Chap, and now we know that Microsoft's next-gen console will be called the Xbox Series X, instead of, say, the Xbox 2 or its codename Project Scarlet. So, next November, or maybe early December, we're going to have the Xbox Series X go up against the PS5. And even though we've only had a few leaks, some of the specs, and a couple of interviews to go on so far, which are you more excited about? Vote in the poll at the top right, and also let me know why in the comments below. So a few weeks ago, I made a video all about the PlayStation 5, and while we know a fair bit about Sony's next-gen console, including how it'll use AMD's Zen 2 processors, Navi graphics, it'll use a faster SSD, support 8K, high refresh rates, ray tracing, and come with an updated controller with a built-in screen, we still don't really know what it's going to look like. All we've seen so far are these leaked dev kits and concepts. Although the final version may be a toned-down version of this, with its V for 5 design and serious airflow helping to cool the next-gen hardware. But finally, with about a year to go still, we've had our first look at the next Xbox. So we've gone from the Xbox One to the Xbox One X to the Xbox Series X. They really do love their X name, although unlike the PS5, which is clearly the next one, it may not be as clear for the casual gamer that this is the next-gen console. We'll probably just end up calling it the Xbox X anyway. It's certainly a fresh design for a games console though, looking more like a small desktop PC, although apparently you can use it vertically or horizontally. It is big though, lying down it's about as wide as the Xbox One but 3 times as tall. Although if the PS5 dev kits are anything to go by, the next PlayStation may be a bit of a chunky monkey as well. So obviously design is important. Something this big is going to be tricky to hide in your living room media setup, but I think more importantly when it comes to design, things like airflow, temperature, keeping it cool and quiet. If you've ever used a PS4 or PS4 Pro, you know that when it whirs up it sounds a bit like a hurricane. So with this new Xbox Series X design, Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox at Microsoft, has said that the new console will be 4 times more powerful in terms of processing performance, twice as powerful in terms of graphics, and it won't actually be any louder than the current Xbox One X. Now, we don't have all the specs just yet, but it will be a similar setup to the PS5, again with a custom-designed AMD Zen 2 processor, Radeon Navi graphics, and an NVMe SSD to help speed up load times. We'll also get 8K support, up to 120 FPS, ray tracing, variable refresh rates, just like the PS5. Although Microsoft have said the Series X will be the fastest and most powerful console. The thing is though, while it's fun to compare specs and see which is going to be the most powerful console, unless we're talking about exclusive games, most developers are going to have to develop their games for the least powerful console. So while you may see some very minor boost in frame rate or graphical setting on the more powerful console, really we want them to be as equally powerful as possible just to make the lives of developers easier and give us the best gaming experience possible. As for controllers, Microsoft also announced the new Xbox wireless controller with a slightly refined design, plus there's a new hybrid D-pad and a new share button like we see on the current PS4 controller. It'll also work with the current Xbox and Windows 10 PCs. The new DualShock 5, on the other hand, will have new adaptive triggers, haptic feedback instead of rumble motors, and an improved speaker. Both controllers will now charge via USB Type-C as well instead of micro USB. One thing we haven't heard any more about are the reports that we're actually going to get a second Xbox console. Now, considering pricing is going to be a big factor here, and we'll talk about that in a second, perhaps having a lower tier, more affordable entry-level model of the Xbox could be a good option, although until we get a catalogue of exclusive next-gen games, for the next year or two, the vast majority of games will also come to current-gen consoles. So wouldn't it just be worth getting an older Xbox One X on sale? So Microsoft have their xCloud streaming, and Sony has PlayStation Now. Although right now this is mostly used for older games, hopefully we'll see it expanded around the PS5 launch. The good news though is that both consoles are expected to be backwards compatible with the majority of current gen games. So assuming I can play most of my current games on the new consoles, then that means I can actually trade these in towards the new ones and make it a little bit more affordable. But that is the big question, how much are they going to cost? Well, I reckon we're looking at probably around £500, the same in dollars, which is a little bit more than the current gen consoles, but still less than the $600 price tag we saw with the PS3, which was, as you know, a bit of a disaster.
$599 US.
Based on famous battles which actually took place in ancient Japan. So here's this giant enemy crab.
Still, I can't wait to see their full reveals and get hands-on as soon as possible, so make sure you do stay tuned and subscribed for more videos from me in the coming months. In the meantime though, let me know which one you're more excited for in the comments below, and if you think it'll be a day one purchase for you, or if maybe you're going to hold off a bit. Thank you so much for watching guys, and I'll see you next time right here on the Tech Chat.